Hello, everyone. Bill Crow. Velcro. Ned White. Hey, Ned. Paul Keller. Hey. Here comes Wayne Gretzky. Alexandra Barnes. Lay is watching. There she is. What do we got? Today's Sunday. Who knows? I think it's Sunday. I'm sure it's Sunday. I'm just positive it's Sunday. Hey, you. Yes, indeed. Go, Jay, go. Where? Here we are on lovely, idyllic West End Avenue. All blocked off. No through cars. So we can all play in the streets. You want these or not?
Oh.
Would you put it? Don't forget them. I'm going to put them right here. Don't forget them. We mustn't forget them, Brian. Gavin Spencer. West End and where? Ha ha! You must know everything. 88th Street. 88? 89. Oops. And 89th. Will soon explode, I hope, into applause for the first responders who are still dealing with COVID. Well, it's terrible around the rest of the world, and the rest of the United States is not so good either. I was telling my son, my grandson, that I think that in 6 months to a year from now, there'll be some very good medicines will make it. Hello. That will cut down on the fatalities. The fatalities now 1%. And it's much higher, however, for people over, say, 70. Now, if I knew anybody over 70, I would tell them about it. But seeing as how I don't. I love and miss that neighborhood, yes. 84th between Riverside and West End, yes. You know who lives on that same block now? John Pizzarelli. Maybe he lives in your apartment. Who knows? Johnny Boucher. Hey, Johnny. I'm just out here, Johnny. I'm just getting ready for the, we hope, applause at 7:30, at 7 o'clock for the first responders. Unless it's just become too passé. I can't see my clock. It's my grandson, Vaughn.
Okay, I'm going to start on
There you go. Hey! Thank you. Start it. Get it going. Ah, the moaning horns. Well, we can see Joan Taylor. There you go. Thank you, Joan. Hi, Julie. How are you, Julie Husby? Give my regards to Pear, please. Day. This is all over. Well, it's getting a little enthusiasm is waning, but mine isn't. And I'll just keep it going out here. We'll just see how this all works out. I need one of those things that you can walk along and holds the camera real still. Only cost about $6,000. So just, you hold it out in front of you. But for now, you just have to jar along with me. But I did watch last night's video last night. Armando. And I learned I was doing one thing wrong. I'll take the elevator with you, Vaughn. Welcome to the elevator. First time.
It may reconnect in the elevator. But luckily, we're only going for 2 seconds. So.
What may be in the elevator?
There's no Wi-Fi, but it's 2 seconds.
There's phones. We made it. Come. What's the matter? You don't like being locked down?
Not that much. Oh, I have to make sure you got in. What's the matter with that? What's wrong, sweetheart?
Okay, boys and girls, let's go wash our hands. Imagine Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers on the same show. That'd be a hell of a combination. No lasagna in my cheek, don't scream. Allergy medicine. You take what you're allergic to. Works. If you want to know the name of the doctor and the allergist, I will be happy to tell you. If you don't want to know, I'll be happy not to tell you. God bless it if I want to get involved in giving out medical advice. The bass player doesn't give out a lot of medical advice. Now, see, what I learned last night was, as I watched last night's show, and every time I touched the screen, the little microphone on the bottom of the, I have a nice little microphone on the bottom of the iPhone. Very good little microphone. But it would bang into the tripod. And I watched it. I go, and I see why Francois yells at me. Francois Zalican yells, "Don't touch that screen!" He doesn't like that. He likes things to be real nice. He likes well-produced stuff. And he gets angry, I'm sure. Hey, Mike. Mark Morganelli, me and Lenny. Well, I'd sang it if I wrote it, but I didn't write that one. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Okay, I'll do it. Their hit song, "It's a Very Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood with a Little..." Thank you. Doug, you should have been in show business, Doug. "It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood with little bushes over here." And have Bob Ross painting Mr. Rogers' face as Mr. Rogers is talking. I didn't trust Bob Ross, though. I don't know if I trust him. Rogers and Ross. There you go. Francois Zeliger, don't touch the screen. Francois, I learned a good lesson last night. I can touch the screen. If the microphone, the bottom of the microphone is not touching the tripod, it'll go bang, 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 bang. But if it's raised up, like it is tonight, I can do this and not get bang, bang. But sometimes I have to touch the screen. I have to see who's watching. And I can't see who's watching unless I do this. I'm touching the screen. Right? Don't touch the screen. Don't touch the screen. Francois, the trouble is I speak French, and if you don't put it into French, I don't get it. My English is, my third language. Je suis très fier de mon chaussette pour les bonnes raisons. That's what Joanne taught me. John. My next lesson is coming up soon. That's very funny. Don't touch the screen. Life in the Middle Ages. Oh, dear. Well, listen. I'm going to do that. I was going to... I'll do it. There was one song I used to open up my show with Peggy. This is 30 years ago. Closer to 35 years ago, when I was working with Peggy Lee, I would play downtown at this little joint. I would do a duo. And Peggy would come to every show. She would come to every show. Boy, were we popular. And I used to open up the show with this song. And I'm going to put the words on so I can see it. They don't write them like this anymore. And there's a good reason for that. Now what I'm going to do is, I decided it's not bad to have the music stand visible. So I have it visible so I can look at you and see the thing. I'm walking around aimlessly, just staying out of trouble. Ain't got nothing on my mind. Woo, woo, woo. When who appears before my eyes, I must be seeing double. It's the girl who left me behind. Well, I thought that she was through with me, was forever bound to roam. But I guess she found that the greener grass wasn't greener, and she come back home. Hello, baby. Woo, good to see you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You sure been on my mind. Hello, baby. How long you gonna be in town? Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick around. Hello, baby. Where you been to? Our paths ain't crossed for a while. Hello, baby. You say you never made it to L.A. Hey, looks like my lucky day. Hello, baby. What kept you away? You look around, but you never found what you were looking for. But you don't say, hello, baby. I hope you'll be around a while. I couldn't forget your smile. Do 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 do. this don't make my day, I don't know what could. She really come back home. Wah, wah, wah. What a surprise, I can't believe my eyes, but it sure does my poor heart good. I thought she was forever bound to roam. I thought that she was through with me, had to find out for herself just what was written on the other book sitting on the other shelf. Hello, baby, good to see you. You sure been on my mind. Hello, baby, how long you gonna be in town? Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick around. I'll be around a while, yeah, I couldn't forget your smile. You say you never made it to L.A., hey, looks like a lucky day. How long you gonna be in town? Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick around, yes. Think I'm gonna stick around, yes. Think I'm gonna stick around, yes. I think I'm gonna stick around. That's next, Tomoko. Let me tell you something as we start the show. It's a little something. This is how Bob Ross would do it. Let me tell you something as we start the show. It's a little something I thought we should know. So I will tell you as we settle into place, it's impossible to sing and play the bass with a little tree right over here. You're a lovely group of people. You deserve the courtesy of knowing what you can expect of me. I've practiced, but it will not mean a thing. It's impossible to paint and sing. You see the bass is fretless. It's not like a guitar. The bass, you spend your whole life wondering where the hell you are. It's got no little markers, just a fingerboard so bare. And we're gonna put a little tree right over there. Ooh. Then when you start singing, you've got lyrics on your mind. And the notes on bass become impossible to find. To remember lyrics, melodies, bass lines, and chords is no less a miracle than the Lord's. So as I make 1,000 errors, sit there and be kind. Do not throw tomatoes at me, keep this all in mind. Remember this is serious, remember this is art. Remember this or I will fall apart. Then I'd have to pray to God to come and intercede. And she'd only sit and laugh at my wanton greed. She made the rules for molecules, atoms, time, and space, and she knows it's impossible. She knows it's impossible. Knows it's impossible. Knows it's impossible. Never knows it's impossible. Knows it's impossible. Knows it's impossible to sing and play the bass. Well, just let me take a look. Just let me take one quick little look here. I like that. The music stand. I'll turn it down a little bit. Turn it back like this. Yes. Larry Woodard. Impressions. Add that to your business card. Yes, of course. Bob Ross. Wow, I love this. Thank you, Larry Woodard. This is Rogers and Ross. It's you. Like I also like a little bush. I always like little bushes who live over here. I like the little bushes. Doug, you've watched too much Bob Ross. Too many mornings with nothing to do. Great song. I can hear why. Norma Dolores Ekstrom, loved working with you. Yes. Vinnie Marshall. Hi, Vinnie. I saw her with you, maybe Grady Tate, absolutely Grady Tate, Mike Renzi, and John Chiudini. It was probably at that place on 27th Street. I can't remember. It was a great. Oh God, what's that? What's that food? Oh, I can't think of the name of the food either. Tasca pasca. What's that stuff? It's not cooked, but it's. I mean, it's cooked, but it's all room temperature. All right, I don't know. I can't think of the name of it. Can't think of the name of the club, and I can't think of the name of the food, but it was famous for both. Can't think of it. Can't think of it. Yes, but I was there. Some funny name. The ballroom. Thank you. Hello, hello. Hello, Bush. Hello, baby. Hello, Bush. Bo Lenhart. That's my sister, everyone. So watch yourselves. Tapas. Tapas. Yes, well, I guess why I'm doing this show is also to keep my memory working hard, remembering these songs. Tapas says, Bill Crow and Douglas Romo both agree it's tapas. I saw it as sapat, but no, that's backwards. Do you know that Dunkin' Donuts backwards is Nick Nud Sternad? Just want you to remember that. Nick Nud Sternad, Dunkin' Donuts, the most inconsistent coffee in the world. Sometimes great, sometimes dreadful. SGSD. Sometimes great, sometimes dreadful. You know, you can't make perfect coffee all the time. I've been making coffee. Finally, I've been making French press, Francois, French press. And you know, I don't like it as much as drip coffee. I'm going to have to get a plain, you know, one of those old burners that the cowboys used to put on a stove and burn, but make the coffee was like steel. I gotta get it, just a plain drip coffee maker. It seems to be the best coffee. Somehow, I don't know why. Anyway, here, I wanted to show you the little microphone that's on the bottom of my, it's over here. Sorry, I get confused. But that little microphone at the bottom of my iPhone, it's a little condenser stereo mic with a windscreen. And it's got a really very nice software inside of it too. You can localize the sound, you can compress it, you can equalize it a bit. Yeah, I like it. I love it, as a matter of fact. Although honestly, the microphone with the iPhone is pretty good. It's pretty good because I've done a couple of shows. Let me see. Michelle Benson, because I'm lucky enough to make my own coffee. Yeah, I make mine too, but perhaps you need a percolator. That's what I mean. Percolator. Well, is that your word, Val? I mean, Carolyn. I mean, Bo. Excuse me. God damn. Percolator. Percolator. Is it O-R? I hope so. Percolator. Okay. Well, listen. Nice microphone. Windscreen. Bo. Yes, Bill John J. Billy John, Boy, Jean, Valerie, and Jay. You want that song? That's what you're looking for? You just want a song where you're mentioned, and I get it. Robotic. Ned White says robotic. And then we have dumpster. Oh, I feel like a guy going into an exam who hasn't prepared anything. You know, I'm having fun, but oh lordy, Bob Ross likes his coffee with. Bob Ross likes his coffee with maybe a nice treat. That's so good. Mr. Coffee. Okay. Mr. Coffee. E. That makes me laugh. Subsequent. There you go. Something of. Drip. Oh, this. I mean, I forgot to. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put each one on a separate line now, so I'm getting lost here. Subsequent. Drip. Drip. See, this is giving me time to my unconscious to think about it. Oh, Spasiman. What was that? What was that joke you were telling me earlier? Somebody's doctor on one of the funny shows was Spasiman. Somebody tell me what that is. Spasiman. Weasel. Yep. Weasel. W-E-A-S. Oh, it was on The Office. The Office, because I was bragging about working with Jane Krakowski, who is a ball to work with. And I'll never, God bless it if we ever work together again. Because of the situation. Spaceman Wazzle. Exist. Recalcitrant. Exist. What would Bob Ross have been recalcitrant about? I can't imagine. Terrestrial. This is fun. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the winner is Radiant from Mary Jane Harper. Okay. Radiant. And I can't not use Tomokos because I wanted to keep working together. And so I have to 30 Rock. Okay. All right, let me just make them a little larger so I can actually see them. So the words are percolator, robotic, dumpster, Mr. Coffee, subsequent, drip, weasel. Oh, I forgot there's too many words in there now, but exist, recalcitrant, terrestrial, radiant, radiant, 30 Rock and 30 Rock. All right. I think this is a Boeing song in E minor. Oh, it's too far away. I can't really see it. Sorry, it was such a good introduction. I can't really see the words. I have to make them a little bit larger. Excuse me, just talk amongst yourselves. A little bit larger. Oh, now I can see them. Now I can see them. I made the tree a little larger. Like Bob Ross, I'm sitting at my easel. And I'm painting a recalcitrant weasel. For even though we do persist, the weasel continues to exist. He's not the slightest recalcitrant, that weasel. The weasel has a very filthy sock from hiding underneath that 30 rock. He's very symbiotic. The weasel acts so very robotic. He's a drip. That dirty, recalcitrant weasel. When I catch him, I'll be absolutely radiant. Oh, waiter, 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 I'll be back a little later, later, later. Turn on the percolator, percolator, 'cause I want my Mr. Coffee right now. Don't be a crumpster. I'll toss you in the dumpster. I won't repent in my tent or anything subsequent. It's all chaotic and all neurotic. That recalcitrant weasel at the easel turns out to be simply robotic. Sorry it got so serious. The song got very serious. But when singing about a robotic weasel, one gets serious. I had a request for this, and Tony Bennett told me. He said, if you just do one song, you got to do Your San Francisco. I said, what song is that, Tony? He says, the one about the airplane. He says, I hear it on Jonathan Schwartz all the time. Poor Jonathan. Where's Jonathan? So I agreed with Tony. The song got written because I was invited to go to Los Angeles to play a convention. The people asked me how much money did I want. I told them I wanted $10,000. They said house, $500. All right. I lowered my fee to $7,500, and they came back with $500. But that still wasn't enough. I wasn't going to go for a penny less than $5,000. And in fact, we settled for $500. But they got me a first-class seat on TWA. Sat down in my first-class seat, got comfy, and a little white-haired gentleman walks on the plane and sits right down next to me. The plane is aghast. A-G-H-A-S-T, not gassed. And who is sitting next to me? This guy's so famous. Everybody knows him. Everybody's so impressed. Sitting right next to me. True story. Take my seat aboard the plane, and what is this I see? Leonard Bernstein comes aboard and sits right next to me. First class New York to LA, some things just work out right. I'll be sitting next to Leonard Bernstein this whole flight. Maybe I should just act like I do not recognize him. Be real cool and do my best not to antagonize him. Now we're rolling down the runway, next stop is L.A. I'm nonchalant like I ride next to Lenny every day. Naturally I turn to him against my own advice. Introduce myself and find that Lenny's very nice. Soon we start to chat and drink and talk about our lives. We talk about our children and our wives. What a lovely fellow, what a lucky day. Me and Lenny side by side, New York to L.A. Wah, 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 wah. Soon we're chatting, drinking, talking like the very best of pals. Talking music, life, and art, death, and root canals. Now he's interrupting me, but really that's okay. 'Cause he's a lovely fellow and he's got a lot to say. I recite some songs I wrote, he recites them back. For poetry and music, he seems to have a knack. He tells me that his new show closed and now he's feeling beat, and he's not used to dealing with defeat. But what a lovely fellow, what a lucky day. Me and Lenny side by side, New York to L.A. He does the London Times crossword, 10 minutes and he's through. Does the puzzle with his pen, I do not have a clue. What an intellectual, but a warm and friendly guy. We talk about the world below as we sail through the sky. Finally I feel the airplane starting to descend, and I know this lovely day is coming to an end. Put our chairs and seatbacks up just like you're supposed to do. Land and bid my friend a fond adieu. But what a lovely fellow, what a lucky day. Me and Lenny side by side, New York to L.A. What a lovely fellow, though really, I must say, I've not heard from Lenny since I left him in L.A. Not a goddamn word from Lenny since I left him in L.A. In L.A. In L.A. In L.A. Let me just take a look at what's going on over here. Let me acknowledge all the people who bring us so much cheer. That's pretty good. I like it. Coffee Nightmare. Philco Spaceman. Java. Oh, we're way past that now. George Colligan is watching. Mark Martinelli. Bravo. Thank you, Mark. I love the colors and imagery I see when you play. Phthalo green and blue mixed with burnt we're making a happy I'm back here. Happy little sky. Let me see. Happy little, remember though, the clouds need friends as well. Thank you. What you do? Did you produce that show? Tomoka Ono Farnham. Yes. Lenny couldn't fly a plane, but you can. Well, I could. I did. Grazie mille. Grazie mille. I believe that means 1,000 thanks. George Colligan, Mark Monagan, bravo. Scott Hamilton is watching. Scotty, where are you? Tell me where you are. Are you in Italy or do you live in London? And what are you doing up so late? Or are you in New York? Chris Higgins, thanks. Shelley Burns. Hi, Shelley. Thank you. Bo Leonhard, thank you very much. Bowie. Christopher Lenz, lots of... Christopher Lenz, Juan Valdez. That's me. That's me. Elaine Gallagher, take two. He was and is the best, of course. I am and was 6 years younger, so I can always thought of him as a big kid. Let me see. Jay, this is from my sister. This is unrehearsed now, so let's see what Bowie has to say. Jay was and is the best. Of course, I am and was 6 years younger, so I always thought of him as a big kid. He came with two other great brothers, too, and two great sisters. Our mom really made nice siblings for me. Well, that's good. I'm glad you feel that way. I'm really happy. Oh, boy. Mississippi River Mud. Oh, what a dance do they do. Lordy, I'm a-telling you. They don't clap their hands. They don't. They keep time by something. Uncle Dud, ain't nothing finer than finer to beat your feet on the Mississippi mud. Lordy, how they done, done, do, 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 do. My brother and I used to sing that when we were kids. Mrs. Olson, Folgers Coffee, best spokesman. Howard Gossi. Mrs. Olson, Folgers Coffee's best spokesman. It's the richest kind. Let me tell you a secret. My daughter just sang 3 national spots for Folgers. She's the lead vocal. She paid off her American Express bill. Paid it off. Now, how about that? I did a couple jingles. The best jingle I ever did was one I wrote for Fifth Avenue. Lord and Taylor off Fifth. Somebody off Fifth. Dan Aaron would know it, but I forgot what it was. It's been 25 years. I sang and wrote it, and I gave the musician's fee to my doorman, just as a tip. It didn't matter. The musicians made about 1/30th of what singers made. But I'm not bitter. Oh, no, not bitter at all. Doesn't matter. Doug, your comments are priceless. I wish I could save them. I wish I could save these comments. Classic Leonard doing it. Funny, I'm busy putting a happy little pot plant over here. Everybody's getting into it tonight. That's good. Christopher Lentz, instrumental rated J. Christopher Lentz, pilot. Light the pilot light. Let me just take my old music off here because there's some other things I wanted to do. Here's a lyric for a new song I'm writing. It occurred to me this afternoon. Imagine making money going G-D-A-E. G-D-A-E. Imagine making money going G-D-A-E. An idea that seems crazy as can be. One might wonder, as one does observe, what useful purpose it might serve. I'm setting with the bow, with the bass. Various pitches created with fingers or the bow. Listening to these pitches might lead one to want to know, how do you earn a living by simply creating tones? But tones that seem to hypnotize Jones Bones. I must point out that people tell me from time to time that they find the sound of the bass to be quite sublime. People like the soulful depth of notes so very low, brought forth by the fingers of the bow. I do suppose it's partially possible to actually earn a buck by giving these long and lovely strings a gentle little pluck. Sometimes, though, it does seem to be idyllic as can be, going through life playing G, D, A, E. Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time, but it's not ringing my bell. It's true. I sometimes want to say, do you actually make a living playing that? The fact something occurs to you that you actually made a living going boom, 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 boom. But there's a lot more to it than that. Okay, well, it was a try. Having tried it now, I don't know whether it's ever going to be a song. I might work on it. I'm working on my 20 lyrics for 3-in-1, Thad Jones 3-in-1, however. I'm writing them out in Sibelius. I'm going to finish when I have 20 lyrics to that song, and then I'll pick the best. Now here's one. Here's a little ditty I wrote. Give me a C, a bouncy C. Here's a little ditty that I wrote back when I was reading a lot of books about quantum mechanics and space. You know how we people get you want to read, you want to understand what it is that's going on. And physicists are going nuts building billion-dollar, what do they call those things? Not reactors, they're those things that send photons and send electrons around a course at about 60 trillion miles. The CERN, I forget what they call it. Collider. Maybe it's a collider. And I got very interested in all that. It's fun to read it. Oh, by the way, what's really fun to read is Joseph Stiglitz, his book about inequality. Every page is like a Bible to me. It is so Joseph Stiglitz, something about inequality. If you're interested in really getting your economic philosophy together, and you want to come at from a liberal point of view, from a people point of view, that's the book. But anyway, I just want to show you how this song goes because it's kind of fun. It's fun. If you have I look like somebody now. Who do I look like? At this angle. With these glasses. I look like me. That's who I look like. Certainly not Paul Newman. I've been told I look like three people in this life. Dickie Smothers, Paul Newman, and the doctor on MASH. Which I think was the closest one. Whatever his name was. See, I don't remember his name. Let me see now if I really understand this. You split a photon, a particle of light. You send one half roaring down a tunnel to the left, the other down a tunnel to the right. Then when the photon halves are 14 miles apart, each half must negotiate a maze. The mazes are identical, and the photon halves must find their paths as they make their separate ways. Scientists say that quantum mechanics must apply here, each path chosen by purest chance. But somehow both ends of the photon always make the same decision, like perfect partners in the dance. Each half knows exactly what the other half is doing, even though the other half is many miles away. Each half knows exactly what the other half is doing, without a millisecond of delay. Let me see now if I really understand this, 'cause something is not right. Professor Einstein told us that nothing in the universe can travel faster than the speed of light. The speed. You know, I think we have a problem. A contradiction at the deepest level. Some will say it shows you just how much we have to learn. Others say it's more proof of the devil. Man, it's just like real life when you think you finally know it all. That's when you get the big surprise. Just when you think you've got a handle on the universe cuts you down to size. Let me see now if I really understand this. You split a photon, a particle of light. Then both halves proceed to disobey the basic laws of physics. Both halves proceed to disobey the basic laws of physics. wonder I can't sleep at night. You all were very quiet after that song, but I loved it. I loved it. Henry Miller, Harry Morgan, Henry Miller, Harry Morgan. That's who it was. Harry Morgan, Gobstopper Machine. You look like Henry Morgan with a little less Van Dyke Brown. Love this. It's like They Might Be Giants song. Singing science. Quantum mechanics, love it, but don't understand. Me either. I understand. I try to understand it, but it's very weird down there. Particles of light go through a little slit, and they come out as waves, and then they end up as particles again. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Photons, particles of light. You'd think that light was just light, but no, it's little particles. Cyclotron. Cyclotron. Is that what it is? The spinning, the things where the cyclotron, is that really what it is? Cyclotron. Okay. I'm about to, this Friday, I'm getting my program together for the hospitals, I think. I have to speak to the union. I filled out the contract. I haven't heard from them. Well, we'll find out. I'll find out tomorrow. Make sure it's all together. Super collider. A collider. Super collider. Thank you. Cyclotron. Super collider. The CERN. CERN. And they have one in the United States under out in Chicago or something like that. And they spend a lot of money on these things just to break particles down into the tiniest imaginable quarks and semi-quarks and nuons and muons and just trying to find out what matter's all about. What's the matter? Rockford. Oh, yes, you would know, wouldn't you? You would know. John Weber would know Rockford, Illinois, yes. Albert Goodson, as long as the particles know what they're doing. Right. Thank you, Albert. Thank you, Albert. Thank you, Al. But see, they're far apart, and they do with the same thing. Now, how do they communicate over 14 miles? They must somehow not be apart, really. I don't get it. But I sang this song. I've sung it before, and some physicists were in the audience. They said, well, you had it pretty good. I said, okay, pretty good. Here's one that I want to do next Friday. I'm working up a program of my songs and some standards. And this is one I've always loved. Barbara Carroll used to do it. I took a trip on a train, and I thought about you. I passed the shadowy lane, and I thought about you. Two or three cars under the stars, a winding stream, moon shining down on some little town, and with each beam the same old dream. At every stop that we made, I thought about you, I thought about you. But when I pulled down the shade, then I really got blue, I really got blue. I peeked through the cracks and looked at the tracks, the one going back
every stop that we made. Oh, I thought about you. But when I pulled down the shade, then I really got blue. I peeked through the crack and looked at the track, the one going back to you. And what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? I thought about you, 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 you. Oh, well, that was good. I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do that one. That's a definite. Now, who else? Oh, somebody, Christopher. Christopher, did you ask for Middle Ages? So I'll do the Middle Ages. Let me turn this light off. I don't like the way it looks. I didn't realize it was so offensive. Nice. This is Beth Ertz music stand. Look at this. Look at this. The lowest. Well, you can't really see it, but it's on its lowest. It's really a great music stand, and she gave it to me. A music light. The music stand's mine. The music lights are. The light costs 4 times as much as the stand. 5 times as much as the stand. Okay, this song I've written because I was. This song is a song that came down through antiquity, and I found the lyric to it. It comes down from like the Middle Ages, and when a man named Oog used to go into the forest and take a log, and he would hit on the log with a stick, and all the people in the forest, the workers in the fields, would come running into the forest because Oog would regale them with songs of their life and times. It was a wonderful thing. They got the only fun they ever had. So I would like to sing this song for you as it has come down through the ages. Oog on a log. Life in the Middle Ages is just outrageous. Life in 1383, it's as bad as life could be in the Middle Ages. Life in the Middle Ages, lousy work, rotten wages. We till the soil all day, yay, yay. There's never time to play in the Middle Ages. In my little village, we try hard not to think. In my little village, all we do is work and drink till the soil pass the wine, wine, wine. Get drunk, everything's just fine in the Middle Ages. Life in the Middle Ages. A man must be courageous. Now we're off to the crusade. Pillage villages and maids in the Middle Ages. The king rides into battle, and I must hold his sword. Do not worry, I will be right here with you, my lord. He wears all the armor, I'm the one who will be gored. Ah, yes, but I won't be bored in the Middle Ages. Plague is so contagious. Where did I get this nasty cough? Cough. Why is my right foot falling off in the Middle Ages? Ah, the Middle Ages, such a peculiar fate. It's amazing anyone lives long enough to mate till the soil pass the wine. Get drunk and everything's just fine in the Middle Ages. in the Middle Ages. Pickety third, pickety third, pickety third. I've learned that. We've all learned one thing. We learned that when you take a minor song and end it on a major, it's called a pickety third. I don't know where that came from. Joe Fitzgerald is watching. Derek Dreisen is watching. Alex, I thought about you. Well, thank you, Ned. That wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I thank you. We think about you, John DeMarco. How nice. Walk it, baby. How about hi-fi? Reporting to Albert, hi-fi. Chris Higgins, yeah, man. Or Bill Nye, the science guy. Johnny Marie longing for Judy Garland, allegedly. I wonder. Could be. They were both the peas in a pod in their own way. Lo-fi. I mean, they use Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi used by particles. Leon Holtzman is writing. Well, it's 8 o'clock and I'm hungry. Somewhere near, I wonder where, I just want to see if anybody. Listen, folks, it's been grand seeing you. And percolator, robotic dumpster, Mr. Coffee, subsequent, drip, weasel, exist, recalcitrant, terrestrial, radiant, 30 Rock. I wrote Dirty Spock and Flirty Sock. That's about all I could think of. Thank you for the words. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your participation in our little get-together this evening again. And yes, I will be here tomorrow night at the same time. Yes, absolutely. Then I expect to go out to Hope on Tuesday. Because I made an appointment. My car can be fixed on Tuesday by the wonderful little car guy in Hackettstown, little teeny Hackettstown on western New Jersey, where they had a protest march. God bless them. Anyway, everybody stay safe. Remember, COVID is still very real, and the odds of older people getting it and getting it seriously are not very encouraging. So we should all be very careful. I'm just telling you, just in case you were thinking of taking a walk and going to the movies tonight, or maybe to a ball game, or to a bar. I wouldn't do it tonight. Talk to me tomorrow about it. We'll see. Good night, everyone.